Welcome back to the Ponca City Monthly Podcast. I'm your host, Andy. And I realize I start every podcast saying welcome back, but this time it really is a welcome back because we took a little break for the holidays and for the new year. We took January off to sort of refocus and get back in the groove of things. And here we are. It's the first of the month. First of the month is always exciting because we have Editor-in-Chief Kelsey Wagner with us. Kelsey, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm happy to be back.
So did you have, since we didn't do an episode in January, did you have a good holiday? Happy New Year?
I did. Yeah, January is the longest month. It's crazy. We had a big snowstorm, freezing cold weather, and now here we are back into the 60s and 70s. So right. Oklahoma weather. It
is. I'm happy that we're back in the warm weather. I love the snow. I think we've talked about, people have seasonal depression, and especially like January is kind of when it hits hardcore.
Yep.
I love the cold. So for me, I am just like thriving. That's when my best ideas come and I get ready for the new year. Cleaned, purged, did all the fun things.
Yeah.
Are you much of a resolution setter, or do you just kind of embrace the year?
6 or 7 years ago, I really changed from having a different personal development resolution to just having an overall, my focus is it's focus and simplicity. That's what I always say. However, I do set goals for like my businesses. And of course I have all my mayor goals. So it is important to sit down and think about, the actual things you're going to accomplish in every area of your life. But,
sure. Yeah. I do not do like resolutions, so to speak, because, you always start out with the best of intentions. It's what, in January, the person you are in January is not the person that you are in August when it's 110 degrees.
It's true. It's true. And that's why I like goals better than resolutions, because it seems like nobody can keep a resolution. So,
The gym is always super busy on January 1st.
It is.
Not so much in August. But I realized last year that I didn't read a single book. So this year, my goal, my only resolution goal is to read more books.
Yeah, that's a great goal. Yeah.
We have an interview coming up with Holly from the library, and we talk a little bit about that. And, there are some people that I see on TikTok, and they read like 300, 400 books a year. And I'm like, how do you do that?
I'm not sure I buy that. That's not like, you would have to do nothing but read all day long.
Yeah.
Or, maybe audiobooks on 2 or 3 times speed. Have you seen where you can like speed books up?
But then, so here's my question then. At that state, are you reading a book or are you just processing information?
Right, like skimming it. Like they're not really experiencing the book. I agree.
Yeah. So my humble goal this year is to read 12 books.
Nice. I read about 15 on average a year. I'm very normal, I think.
But then, like I said, my seasonal depression is going to kick in about August because I absolutely cannot stand to be hot.
Interesting. My husband is the exact opposite. He hates the cold. He really hates the dark and the cold. So he's counting down the days until the, time change.
Sure. Yeah. See, and I like fires and candles and things like that. So I'm like, as soon as it gets dark, here come the fires and candles.
Yep.
So the longer I get to have them, the better.
Yeah, I do love the coziness of being under a blanket in my house when it's snowing outside. So
yeah. Did you enjoy the snow that we had? Was it fun for you?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. Yeah. I mean, I was in my house. I didn't have to get out and about. All the city employees, shout out to them. They had to work through this crazy weather. The police, the firefighters. We've had 5 structure fires in the last week. So I think some of those are heater related. But yeah, I was lucky I did not have to be out in the elements. So
yeah, kudos. Again, I don't think we can shout out the people enough. Yeah. Your workers and the people that keep the city going in those situations. I can't remember who it was because I'm terrible with names, but there was a journalist, I believe, who was saying that he traveled the entire state during that period, and that Ponca City had some of the cleanest, best roads.
And I believe it because they're working overtime. They work through the weekend, and we really, they cleared all the trails. They cleared the 5th Street Park. Right. I think it was one day after the snowstorm, so people could get out and about. So
because I would walk the mansion and it was perfectly nice and clean. So it was very cool. You have a little tiny dog. How did she fare?
Yeah, Ginger, the first time, it was up to her shoulders. So she made a little path that first time. And then we went out and shoveled her a little area so she could, have some grass. But
Nice.
she did not know what to think about it. I think this is her biggest snow she's ever seen. So
Wow. Yeah. Because I was trying to I've only been in town for about 7 years. And I was thinking, I don't remember. I remember the ice storm that we had.
2017, I think. 2019? I don't remember the exact year.
It had to be 2020 because I think that I remember I moved into my house the day COVID hit.
Yeah.
So it had to be somewhere in that time.
I know the last big snowstorm was 2011, then we had another one in 2009. So it's been a while.
And as you get older, it just happens that things start running together. And I'm like, I feel like I can count on my hands the number of snowstorms we've had. But then I'm like, maybe we've had a lot more and I've just forgotten.
No, I really don't. I felt like we had more when we were kids. I don't know what that's really, or maybe it just feels like you have more
I think
as a kid.
that's the where they all just sort of smush together.
Right.
Because as you get
illusion.
older, that happens. So lots of exciting things. We're here to talk about the new magazine. It's just hit streets on Monday.
Yep.
So tell us, show us the cover, and
Yes,
let's dive into this. The Icon Cinema.
Yeah, it's a great cover. This is really, Ponca City has had a lot of exciting changes, but I think the movie theater coming back is one of the most exciting. Have you been to the movie theater yet?
I have not.
Okay, I've been for both of us, for all of us, because I think I've been 7 times now. But
You're
I'm
a member,
movie. Yeah, I'm a member. I'm a movie junkie. So, and it's busy every time I go. So
we were part of the team that announced that last year.
Yep.
We had Liz Leeming from Ponca City Development on last, I believe, March.
Yep.
So we've been talking about it since then. It definitely was one of our biggest stories whenever we put it out on the web.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun. But PCDA has done not just the movie theater, but they've also done some housing developments also, right?
Yeah, the city of Ponca City actually started that housing incentive program 20 years ago, but it really didn't get up off the ground until PCDA changed their trust so that they could incentivize housing. So PCDA and the city of Ponca City, they partner 50-50, and that partnership has made all the difference in the world. So we've got housing projects going on all over the city. It's pretty exciting.
And in the article, we talk a little bit about some of the housing projects like that. Another fun thing that people, unless you have high school students, may not know is that Ponca City Development is also really crucial in creating an intern program for a lot of our industries here, right?
Yeah. The internship program was started by Liz Leeming. I think it was 4 or maybe 5 years ago. Time flies. I know it was around during COVID or shortly after that. But Liz has done a great job with it, and it has become so successful now that we actually have other communities that are basing their internship program. So they're coming, seeing what we're doing, and creating their own program. So it's a great partnership and a lot of these kids that intern with these local companies end up going and working for them. So
yeah, it's a great way to recruit high school students and sort of build them into a great career and a great future. We also talk about Century Products in that article. They're a great industry here in Ponca City that sort of got help from Ponca City Development, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you talk about economic development in small rural towns, a lot of times, traditionally in the past 20, 30 years, it was how do we get a big fish from out of state to come to your town? That's become a little bit more challenging. Huge companies are not always looking to relocate. However, this was a small company that was locally. It was in Shidler, Oklahoma. So they relocated to Ponca City, and they have become a national, almost a worldwide brand. And so they are doing really, really big things. Century Products is a PCRA rodeo sponsor, and it's a national rodeo. So really, really proud of that company. And they've exploded with their growth and how many employees they have. So it's exciting.
So this month we sort of have like a 2-part story because we have the story about PCDA that's all about, the great things that they've done over the past few years. But we also have a story from Kat Long, who is PCDA's small business development person.
Right.
She kind of gives some shout outs to a couple of star, PCDA projects.
Yeah, so Kat Long, everybody knows Kat Long. She's
been
all
on the show
over.
a couple times,
She's been on the show. She's the small business development liaison, and she is just such a champion for small businesses. And so, Sunny Creek Trading Post, they just moved in downtown to a brand new storefront. Aesthetic State of Mind, go down the list. There's all these small businesses that started out teeny tiny, and Kat has really help them grow. And so that's the beauty of PCDA, is they're really able to help across the board with all the different ways to help Ponca City grow economically. And of course, it's led by Lori Henderson, who kind of drives that ship. So
one of the companies that's mentioned is Splash Co.
Yes.
And you mentioned they just purchased a new building, or and they're putting in a swimming pool. That's my favorite part. They're
putting in a little swimming pool. It's right next to Central Fair, which is right across the street from City Central, right by Jim's Jumbo Burger, if you know where that's at.
They're going to put a pool into that building?
Tiny little building.
Wow.
Yep. So they're gutting it. They're doing
but I
a
guess
whole
it's,
remodel.
they're for babies, right? So maybe it's not a huge pool. Like,
well,
in my head, I'm thinking of like an Olympic size.
And what I love is that building has been unoccupied and vacant and underutilized. And so, anytime I can see a property being properly utilized, it's a great fit. So
and it has that beautiful mural right on the side of the building. Yeah. And they can have hamburgers all day long.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That would be me. You were speaking about Sunny Creek. They're having their opening. Nina Tacos was also another one. Vortex.
Yeah, Vortex Alley. They were,
Yeah, so a lot of great small businesses. So Ponca City Development, if you're not familiar with what they do, you can go to their website, which is goponca.com. They do have their... what is it called? Their business kickoff. The pitch off. Thank you. Yeah. That's coming up. They have a special one that's coming up in a few weeks that is related to food trucks.
Yep.
Now, I will tell you from past experience, we both have participated in the pitch off. You do sort of have to have a business plan, and that's not something you can just throw together overnight.
Yeah.
There are some Ben Evans over at Pioneer Tech is a great resource to reach out to because he can help you put your business plan together.
Yep.
But they do have a particular business plan software that you have to use, and but they have those 2 times a year. So the next one will be probably in fall.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of time if you have a business idea to think about that.
Yeah, reach out to Kat Long and, like you said, Ben Evans at Pioneer Tech. And there's so many great resources we have for businesses that are looking to get up off the ground.
So we also have some new changes going on at City Arts.
Yes, yeah.
Kestrel Tinklenberg, we have an interview with her taking on as the new executive director. Yeah,
and Kestrel's made some really great changes. She's moved the Arts Festival from the fall to the spring, so it'll be coming in April.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. And I think you mentioned that's been coming for a long time.
We made that decision about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so, when you have something that's as big as the art festival, you can't just say, oh, hey, we're going to change it to a new.
Right.
That takes, some of these artists are traveling artists and they come in from out of town.
Yep.
And the sort of art festival thing is sort of a tour for some of these
circuit,
people.
right.
Yeah. So they sort of have to.
So this one, I think Kestrel said is going to be right before, is it the Festival of the Arts in Oklahoma City?
Okay.
I believe that's
know.
right. I think she said it was a week or 2 before that.
Okay.
So
yeah.
they thought that through.
So a great interview with Kestrel, and lots of, she talks about all the fun things. I know that she has more art exhibits that are going to be going on.
Yep.
So a lot of fun things going on with that. Let's see. What was the other?
And the Library Lovers Month.
That's why we had Holly over to talk about the library and all the fun things going on there for February is Library Appreciation Month. It's starting again. We talked about this the other day.
Yep.
Every time I say the word library, in my head, I hear library. And
I know.
I'm like, why do I keep saying it like that?
I know. I've always had this thing in the back of my mind. When I hear someone say library, it drives me crazy. But what we talked about is like, maybe if you say it too many times in a row, it sounds like that without even knowing about it. I don't know.
And that's what happened during the interview, which will air in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was, we were talking about the library and what's going on and the programs of the library and, the art at the library. And after like about 20 minutes, I'm like, am I saying library correctly? I mean, I just like stopped because I was panicked.
Library. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But if you did an interview and you were you just kept saying it over and over.
Yeah. Well, and there are those words that if you say this word too many times, you're like, is that even a real word? It's just a psychological trick, I think.
So in the article, we talk about some of the great programs that are going on at the library. And what I brought Holly over was to explain more of that. And we talk, about how cool the art is and how rare it is that our library has that.
Priceless art.
Yeah. And we talk about, books coming in and out. We did a lot of fun things. So you're going to want to listen to that.
Yeah, they have a lot of really unique programming. All their programs get really filled up. I know they had a Harry Potter, it wasn't trivia. It was like a puzzle, like a challenge room, an escape room.
Yeah.
Right.
I couldn't think of that word either. And
Yeah.
she had to come up with it.
Which is so cool that we get to do that here in Ponca.
Yeah. And they also have their adult painting nights with Red Dirt Rosie and some other artists, I believe, they're scheduling. So, yeah, a lot of different things. We talked in great detail because it's my favorite thing, the maker room. So, they have sewing machines, they have circuit machines, they have a glow forge, different things you can do. And we were talking about, speaking of the glow forge, that it has a new software update that's powered by AI. So you can just say, hey, I want a raccoon wearing a top hat, with a dancing stick.
Wow.
And it will just give you, and if you don't like the option, it gives you 4 options. And if you don't like those, it will remix it. And so that's that crazy. You can create your art. So yeah.
That's AI for you.
That is. So a lot of fun things over there. So
wow.
Yeah, great stuff going on. One of my favorite articles this month is about Call Lake.
Yes, you're a big fan of the trails out there, right?
I was out there yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's one of my favorite places. It's been exciting to watch the Call Lake overlook, which is where I go. It's been exciting to watch that develop over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Because it really, when I first moved here, I started taking my dog out there. It's a nice little serene area. Honestly, when I was new, I was just looking for every place. That's just how I am. I like to explore. And then, there's this huge field. And I kept thinking, wow, that'd be cool to walk back in that field and see what's back there. But it was so overgrown. And then one day it was brush hogged and we walked it. And then a few weeks later, it was really mowed and cleaned up. And then just over the years, and now it's this paved route or path with exercise machines. Yeah, it's really exciting. So I was happy to see that and hear all that.
Yeah, Call Lake has done a fantastic job. And I know when I first moved to Ponca City, and this has been 15 or 20 years ago, I knew someone who said that is that where the Eagle's Nest is out? Maybe?
The Eagle's Nest.
Anyway, maybe I'm getting this mixed up. But they said it was out by the overlook, and they said it was very overgrown, and she hoped that one day it would get back. So now, hey, it's back.
In one of the trails that are out by Osage Cove that I hike,
is that maybe it's you go up to a point and there's a place
and I believe that was a Boy Scout project.
Yes, that's what she said. It was.
So but that's at Osage Cove. It's a fun trail.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's really nice clean trail to walk.
Oh, nice.
But it's probably about a 2-3 mile trail.
Okay.
It's also one that if it's rained a lot and the water is up high, you can't don't do it because there's probably 2 or 3 parts that go down around the lake, which are absolutely beautiful, scenic views of the lake. But yeah, if it's been raining, you have to. Gotcha. I have a death fear of snakes.
Oh, I do too.
So I didn't know this, and I was out hiking, and I came to that, and I was like, the only way through is just to skirt around the edge or just run through it.
Oh gosh, yeah, not fun.
But yeah, so I'm actually going to have Tori, who wrote that article, and at the end of the month, to talk about all the great things going on at Call Lake. So
exciting.
That'll be a fun thing. In one of our columns, Chamber Buzz, we talked about the Chamber event that just happened a few weeks ago.
Their big celebration, and they give out all of their annual awards, the best business, the industry of the year. But the most coveted award is the Citizen of the Year. Right. It kind of honors a lifetime of service. And so this year that award went to our very own Mayor Emeritus Homer Nicholson. And he actually, he has been more than qualified for the award, but he wasn't eligible because he was an elected official. And so this is the first year he was actually eligible for that award. So it was a very cathartic, celebratory experience, and everybody was so happy for him.
Did Robin get to give the award to him?
She did, yeah, because she was the award winner last year of Citizen of the Year. So that was fun.
It's always it's fun because they kind of surprise the award winners, right? So you sort of have to get all their friends and family there without them knowing. I know that last year Robin was shocked that I actually came out in public and was sitting in a banquet hall.
All of our employees were there, and then her family was hiding.
Right. Jill was there even. So that was shocking to her that Jill and I were out in public because we don't go out in public very much.
Yeah, and Homer's family was all hidden in the back. And he has like a new little great grandbaby that was there too. So it was very special.
Our new travel column. I really like it. It's really fun. He talks about going to some pretty interesting places.
Yeah, he does. And he is a kind of like a humorous, tongue-in-cheek writer. And so not only does he do a good job of kind of taking you with him on his travels, but finding the humor of the whole experience. So this one is one of those humorous columns.
Also, Jill, we were talking about Jill, who does our Drink of the Month column.
Cocktail of the Month.
Cocktail of the Month. Yes. She had some big news recently.
She is. So for everybody that knows Jill, they know she is the queen of cocktails. She has been writing the Cocktail of the Month for, I guess it's been maybe 3 years now. But before that, she's a longtime bartender. Everybody loves her. So Jill is starting her own bar here in Ponca City. You can follow her on Facebook and Instagram. The name of her bar is Reds. And so you can follow their progress, and we'll have her on maybe in the next couple months to dive in and tell everyone about her exciting new adventure. Yeah. And she's not leaving. She's still going to work here.
She'll have signature drinks, probably some that she features maybe in the magazine a time or two. We have like this little tiny thing that Robin put in, but I thought it was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
James Yang, who is a Ponca City alumni.
Yes, yep.
Right? He designed some very cool...
Yeah, let me go to that page and show 35. Everybody. 35. Not sure
They're
how well
so
you can
cute.
See it.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to see that.
Okay,
but
that's okay.
I'll show a picture maybe.
There we go.
But yeah, on page 35, there's a little tiny... We just stuck it in the middle, but there, it's really cute. Those Valentine's...
Stamps.
Thank you. I was thinking postcards, and I'm like, that's not right.
You could put it on a postcard.
You could put it on a postcard. Yeah.
Yeah, they're super cute. James Yang is an illustrator, and he wrote illustrated for a children's book, and we had a story in a couple years ago about that. But he's kind of become a world famous. I think he moved to, I believe it was New York, but he travels all over. So it's a really cool thing to have him be from Ponca City.
Yeah, and I don't even know how you get... Like, do they approach you and be like, do you want to design postage stamp?
No idea.
Yeah, no idea. But hey, they're really cool and they're super cute.
Very cool.
I will have to... I don't know if we can get them here or if you have to order them.
No, they're here. That was one
here.
of the things that Robin said. You can go to Ponca City Post Office and they are here. Yep.
Perfect. I will have to grab some.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've talked about most of the stuff in the magazine. The rest of it, you'll have to sort of get and go through it on your own. But it's time that we turn it over and talk mayor stuff. Because in addition to being our editor-in-chief, you also get to play mayor. So
I do, yeah.
As a mayor, how did you think? I thought the city, again, we talked about it already, but the city did a fantastic job of the ice.
They do. I mean, one thing that Ponca City really sets the bar as far as preparedness and making sure that we, I think I talked last time about our hazard mitigation plan, but they're very proactive. So they take a lot of proactive steps. Some communities are a little bit behind the bar, but we are not. And so we really shine with that. And we just hired a new emergency manager. So our longtime emergency manager retired after, I think, 30 or 35 years. So we'll be having someone new. But yeah, I cannot brag enough on our community and the work that they do to make sure we're taken care of in a storm.
Yeah, because the last time that you and I did the podcast, it was December, the first week of December, and it was like 100 degrees. So nobody was thinking about snow, but we were talking about snow, and you were telling me then how the city was already prepared. So as I was watching the snow fall from my backyard, I was thinking about you and about all the different things. But but additionally, budgets are coming up, right?
Yes, budgets. They're
Those sound so much fun.
They're riveting. Nobody really wants to talk about budgets, but it's one of those things that, you have to make a plan. Again, talking about hazard mitigation planning, you have to plan for your budget because
you gotta have all that salt and stuff. You can't go buy it.
You do, and you only have X amount of money that comes in. It has to, the taxpayers have certain services that are absolutely essential. You have to have water, roads, sewer, electric. These things are vital. But then there are also other things. You have parks and pools and everything kind of has to work. And sometimes you have capital expenses, which are big one-time expenses. Then you have staff and ongoing expenses. And so we are in the budgeting process. We're looking at, projected revenue forecasts and, what's going on in the economy. And that's kind of weird right now. And then we're looking at, what are the capital needs. So the budget hearings that we're going to be having are in April and they're open to the public. Anybody can come in. We print those in the newspaper. So we really encourage citizen participation in that process. And then after we have our budget hearings, the budget is finalized and it's a huge document located at the library. So you can go over to the library and you can see every single piece of, every number that we spend money on. It is very transparent. It is very open. And I think a lot of people just don't know that that's available to them as a citizen. So
sure.
And it's online too. So
oh, fun.
Yeah, I know.
You can curl up with a fire and just go over budget numbers. That just sounds
Very,
riveting.
very not fun reading.
But like you said, it is something
necessary.
It's extremely important in the situation of everyday life, but also in an emergency because part of that budget is for planning for days when there's a foot of snow.
People don't think about, because there are just individual people and everybody manages money differently. Some people are good at managing money. Some people are bad. And Ponca City is extremely good and conservative at managing money. That's one of the reasons that I love being in city government, because it's not like we don't have hardly any debt. We have a big rainy day fund. We've been very conservative and very responsible about making sure that we are doing what's necessary, but we're not overspending. We're very, very frugal. We save as much money as we can in places. And so I think it's good for the citizens to know that their local government here in Ponca City is very responsible with money.
All right. Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Okay. That is our episode for this month. Did you have anything else you wanted to add from the city perspective? Anything else? Hazard mitigation, you talked about that. Yeah. Isn't that going on where they're doing stuff with that?
Yes, there'll be ongoing meetings with the hazard mitigation. Really, the only other thing that's going on is the legislative session just kicked off 2 days ago. So one of my jobs as mayor is to kind of track and manage what bills are going to negatively impact Ponca City and positively impact Ponca City. And so I work really closely with the Ponca City Chamber of Commerce as a Ponca Politics Committee. So if you're interested, you can come to those meetings and we just talk about legislation. So
all right.
Another riveting topic. So.
Hey, but you know what? It's important.
I like it. I do.
People like you. Yeah. They like it. People like me would sleep. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Next week, we have Dondi from Work Ready, Oklahoma. If you are one of your New Year's resolutions is to maybe reinvent yourself and start a new career path, they can certainly help you. And we talk all about the cool programs they have. So join us next week. Thank you so much.